I noticed that there were a few questions in the last couple of videos that I've posted, definitely some good questions, a few things that have not been answered, and I'd like to take some time in this video to address some of those concerns, and I figured I might as well do that while I'm making a few minor updates to the camper. We're supposed to get some pretty bad rainstorms this afternoon and tomorrow, so I have a few things that I want to take care of before the rain comes. So this is normally the dry season here in Florida, but this year in particular has been anything but dry. We've had a ton of rainfall, and because of that rainfall, one of the things that I've noticed is that this camper has a couple of spots where it was leaking. What I noticed is that I was getting water flowing into the inside of the camper from this gap, right where the top part meets the tub of the camper. There were actually some gaps. You could actually see light getting through, and consequently I also had water getting through when it was running down the face of the camper. But what I did is I added a bunch of caulk here. I just used this silicone, sealed it up, and then I'm also going to take this a step further and put some butyl tape on this, and then I'm going to take this aluminum piece here that I got from Home Depot to try to match the trim on the sides. And I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to put a few holes in it and then just tack it up, just to really make sure that water cannot get in from any of these spots. So the next step is to redo this door seal. I'm going to essentially make a door stop all the way around the edges, and then I bought a new seal, a slightly bigger seal to go in there as well, and then I'm going to use some aluminum to trim it out nicely. So while I'm waiting for this paint to dry, I guess this is a good time to start addressing some of the questions from the past couple of videos, primarily the video that I did 2 videos ago, not the last one, but the one before that. And I do want to say before I get into this, I really appreciate those of you who left comments sort of trying to, I guess, give me some personal space with this whole thing, you know, saying things like I don't necessarily owe every detail of my personal life to you guys, and you know, a big reason why I did not mention Shannon in that video is because I'm trying to establish that boundary. You know, over the years I've learned that sharing every personal detail isn't necessarily the best for my mental health, for Shannon's mental health, for really a lot of different reasons. So I guess I've just kind of been trying to establish that. And it's been a while since Shannon has really been in a video. I mean, you have to go back to probably about a year ago for the last time that she actually sat down and spoke to the camera like this. You know, maybe in passing she shows up here and there, but, you know, moving forward, I don't really intend to have her in these videos into the future, you know, and that's not because we broke up. I know a lot of folks made this assumption that we're no longer together, and I really do appreciate your concern, guys. I'm so grateful for all of you. I love you guys. But at some point, I have to establish a little bit more of a boundary with this, you know, and I took this break from YouTube over the past so many months, and you know, I hate to say it, but it's the happiest that I've been in a while, not having to make this conveyor belt of content for this channel, being able to focus on my new job and a few other things like building this camper and everything else. I don't know, it's been a little bit easier for me, and the same applies for Shannon. You know, like I said, she has not been in these videos for a while, and the reason for that is because she doesn't like being in these videos. I know I did include her. She was in these videos going back to like 2021 when we had the high ace, and you know, I loved making those videos, and she was willing to give it a shot for me. But the reality is that she was never really comfortable doing these videos, and she kind of did it, like I said, she was giving it a try. She gave it the good old college try, But she's realized over the past year and a half or so that she does not really want to do that anymore, and it's stressful for her. It's hard. This is not easy, talking to a camera like this, and a lot of the time we'll have to do many different takes, and that sort of wears on you. For her, she already has a full-time job. She's already involved in other things as well. She doesn't need another job, and for her, this is a job. And for me, it's a job. For anybody, it's a job to sit down and to film your life like this and take the time to edit it and to share all of these aspects and the things that I'm working on and the things that she was working on. So we've kind of decided that moving forward, she's really not going to be in these videos. Now, it is possible that, you know, she shows up here and there, you know, while I'm on a trip, or she comes and joins me, or maybe I go out to New Mexico to visit, or whatever it may be, but she's not going to sit down and talk to the camera like this ever again. That's just not going to happen. I need to have a little bit of personal space with this if I'm going to keep this channel going, and part of that is spending more time focusing on my new job and focusing on the other things that I'm passionate about. So I'm probably not going to be posting videos every single week like I used to do. It might be every other week or something like that, but I do want to keep consistent content coming for you guys, and I hope y'all can understand where I'm coming from with that. You know, the reality is, like, we've learned that doing this, putting yourself out there, reading some of those negative comments, seeing that feedback, it's not good for my mental health. It's not good for Shannon as well. She's known that for a long time. I guess the other question that seemed pretty common is, you know, what's going on with the property out in New Mexico, and the tiny home and the cabin and everything else out there in the high deserts. That's also a good question. You know, I should clarify that I do not personally have any financial involvement with that property out there. I know I've mentioned this in previous videos, but Shannon and her business partner are the investors on that land out there and on that property. I did own the tiny house. That was entirely my project, but upon finishing it, I sold it to their LLC that they have, and now they're able to rent it out, and that's what they've been doing, using it as a vacation rental. So in terms of the property, Shannon is actually back out in New Mexico right now as I'm recording this. She is not really there, though, for the property. It's more for a huge renovation that she is project managing for her business partner in Santa Fe. It's a house in Santa Fe that needed a huge renovation. I mean, the thing was it was pretty run down, so it's going to be awesome. Like, she's doing an amazing job with it. She's working with contractors right now. It's kind of in the thick of things right now. It's going to be done pretty soon, so she's doing a great job with that, and that's the primary reason that she is there. Now, that being said, things are going to get busier on the property as well. You know, we didn't really have the tiny home rented out during the winter time, but now that it's starting to warm up, it's going to be pretty busy. I mean, that tiny house has a pretty high occupancy rate. Like, it's rented out very, very frequently. So she'll be busy dealing with that, and then being out there in the desert. And I know a lot of folks are confused by that sort of dynamic in a relationship, but the reality is that Shannon and I are both very independent. We have been from the very beginning, since we first met, and we're okay with going our separate ways and doing our own thing for a little while and then coming back whenever we can. And I'm sure she'll come back over here to visit at some point, and I might go out there as well and visit. But at the moment, I have this job that I just started here in Florida, and I want to be here. I want to continue with that and see where that road takes me. And also, I really like being in Florida. As you guys know, I'm a surfer. The ocean is in my blood, and it was hard for me to be out in the high desert for 8 straight months without being able to see the ocean. That was not an easy thing for me and for my mental health and everything else. So being able to be close to the ocean has been a wonderful break from that. And I love New Mexico, don't get me wrong. It's an absolutely beautiful place, but it's hard for me to be out there for half the year or more without being able to go anywhere near the water. So I'm looking forward to spending some time in Florida, and then, you know, eventually, like I said, I'm sure I'll go out there to visit, or I'll head back out there and I'll keep you guys posted on how things are going over there. But for now, it's that Florida life for me. By the way, this is Tyler and Manny's house. Thank you, Tyler and Manny, for letting us stay here for the past couple of months and then allowing me to build my house in your driveway. I mean, without them, this would not even be possible. Tyler is Shannon's sister, and Manny is her fiance. They just recently got engaged, so congratulations to you guys as well. literally right as I finished putting on the seal for the door, it started raining. Like, as I was taping the last piece up, the first raindrops were falling. Guess that worked out pretty well. It's a heck of a lot better than what it was. Having the door stop here with the frame out of aluminum, I think that's going to work pretty well. I'm excited to keep going with this build. Next step is to do the electrical in here. It's going to be a pretty comprehensive solar setup, and I'm also going to have an air conditioner right here, which is going to be much needed. It is very hot today. I'm sure you can tell I'm just dripping in sweat at this point. It's been a pretty intense day, but looking forward to getting that next step done, and then it'll just be fixing things up in here, making it pretty. I'm going to do the ceiling, paint the walls. We should be good to go. These raindrops are super loud. I'm exhausted. I think I'm going to call it for this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I was able to address some of your questions in this video and some of your concerns. And I look forward to sharing the rest of this build and then my adventures while I live out of this thing here in Florida over the months to come. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Check out the new Element Life membership site linked below. Becoming a member is a great way to support the channel and grants you access to many benefits, including an interactive map of my favorite free camping and stealth camping spots from across the country with video recaps for each site, bonus videos, special discounts, and much more. Thanks again for watching.